Welcome back, everybody. This is the thejonnymar, and I'm continuing with Final Fantasy I, Dawn of Souls, the PSP version. So we are in the final stretch of the game. We are in the Chaos Shrine, and we have to take on a rematch with all 4 of the Elemental Fiends. And of course, that means we get to start with Lich. Now, Lich looks as intimidating as before, but he's not that bad, other than the fact that he does have the one ability that actually can possibly take out my party. And that is the Flare or Nuke spell. Now, we haven't seen that spell yet because obviously I don't have a black mage, and we were lucky enough to not see it when we took on Warmech. So we'll see, maybe he won't use it. Of course he's gonna use it right away. Now, it hopefully, thank you, will not kill my party members. But as you can see, it does a lot of damage. And if Warmech would have done it, it would have done even more damage. So fortunately, he did not. So our battle strategy here is very similar to what you've seen in most of the boss fights during the second half of the game. And that is to boost my physical attackers, heal myself with my white mage, and my red mage kind of serves as the usual Swiss Army knife. So attack if necessary, but also heal if we need any extra. Now, Avox should be able to keep most of us in good health. As I said, Lich does not throw out too much damage potential, and thankfully, his AI does not allow him to use Flare over and over again. That's one of those things about Final Fantasy games that I do appreciate. Whereas you can spam abilities that are really strong, like Ultima, for example, in Final Fantasy VI, the AI of the enemy will not do that. Even if they have a super powerful ability, they won't just keep using it. For the most part. Now, there are some bosses, or mini-bosses, where they're gonna cheese their abilities a little bit more often. But down goes Lich. So we are 1/3 of the way through the Elemental Fiend rematches. And we get all of 500 experience and 1 Jill. Woo. Now, most of this is going to be just heading to the next floor to take on the next Elemental Fiend. However, there are some chests for us to collect. Now, there's nothing super awesome on this floor, but there is one more chest that is pretty important for us to pick up, and that is the ultimate weapon in the game. Now, that is where Marilyn was, up there. So before we activate her, let's grab a couple chests, including another Protect Cloak. So that is, of course, a shield that mages can wear. That's good for my namesake. You can finally get rid of that buckler shield that he's had for so long. And then there's a Protect Ring that we have to pick up, and maybe a Mega Elixir? Yes, Mega Elixir. And then there's actually another Sasuke Blade, if you happen to have another ninja in your party. And that one's gonna take a trek. We have to head all the way around this area, head down into the southeast of the area. So we're gonna go get it just for completion's sake, but no one in our party can actually equip it because obviously Nakuso already has a Sasuke Blade. But I'm a stickler for 100% completion, so I'm gonna go get it. Now, this area does have an annoying little kind of route, and that is a diagonal route. And because this is an older game, they can't actually put in diagonals. And so what they do is they just end up making you go to the right and then down and then the right and then down and so on and so forth. But there's our second Sasuke Blade. Nice little thing. We could sell it, but again, we have so much money at this point, it's really not useful to do that. And because you can't change classes, we can't change anyone else to a thief. Not that I would really want to. Alright, let's take on Marilyn. So we're going to be using our regular battle strategy here. So boosting our regular attackers using the Giant's Gloves, Temper, and Haste, of course, and healing when necessary. Marilyn is not that tough, and she does not have any super abilities, like Flare, for example. And in fact, she's mostly going to physical attack. Now, she was originally susceptible to some status ailments, but she is not anymore. So don't rely on that if you did the first time you fought her. Just beat her down. That's how much I disrespect her. I'm just using the healing staff. Basically, I'm saying to her, you ain't got nothing on me, woman. Or female snake, or whatever the heck you are. I'm just gonna use a regular heal, because I'm not concerned about you taking us out. I do like her blades. It's kind of interesting that all of her swords are, you know, a little different in style. Although the two on the right-hand side, her left, are very similar in shape. She is already defeated. And that is halfway through the rematches. Another 500 experience and another 1 Jill. Alright, let's head to Basement 3. Which of course means we're going to be taking on the third Elemental Fiend, which is Kraken. Now there's not really anything to collect on this floor, so let's head right for Kraken. And Kraken is pretty easy as well. Nothing to worry about. No special abilities, no super attacks, anything like that. We'll just use our try and true, our bread and butter physical attacks that are boosted. He still looks pretty disgusting though. Got those ooze lines coming off of him. I wonder how he's feeling up here in the, well, actually, I was gonna say in the Flying Fortress, but that's not where we are. We're 2,000 years in the past, so obviously there's no water. So he must be pretty dry. And he looks like he's wearing a cape, actually. Don't know why he would wear a cape. And it's got some sort of orb or jewel there holding the cape on. Maybe he's really fashionable, and that's a lesser-known part of the Kraken character. Perhaps he's like a metrosexual, someone really into fashion. Alright, I'm gonna heal a little bit. And I'm gonna use myself and Avok with healing stabs, because I want to save my MP. You can't use cabins or tents or anything in here, so you are going to have to use ethers or ethers to restore your MP. And we do have Tiamat and also the final boss to go yet. The more healing we can do with items that aren't consumable, the better. Jerk. I'm actually surprised at how little damage my physical attackers are doing, other than my knight. My Kuso's only doing around 200 to 300 damage, fully boosted. Stop hitting Jester! Alright, 3 down. 1 to go. And our final one is, of course, Tiamat. And before we take on Tiamat, we do have one more chest to find. And that is the ultimate weapon in the game. Interestingly enough, not called the ultimate weapon. There is an Ultima weapon in this game if you're playing the Dawn of Souls version, but we're not going to get that for a little while. Here's the little diagonal part I talked about before. So silly. But once we head up here into this room, we get the Masamune. Or Mesa Moon, or Mesa Mune, or however you want to pronounce it. As you can see, it's even stronger than the Excalibur. And what's nice about it is anyone can equip it. And I do mean anyone. Even mages. Even your lowly black mage, if you're carrying one, can equip the mace immune. Now you'd think I would want to put it on my knight, but he's already got a pretty awesome weapon in the Excalibur, so I'm gonna stick it on my ninja. And that's it. All we got left today, anyway, is to take on Tiamat. And then next time, we're gonna take on the final boss. You know, assuming Tiamat doesn't kill us. I haven't saved in a while. And having said that, maybe it would be a good idea for me to save. Alright. Now it doesn't matter if Tiamat beats me. But newsflash, she won't. Or he won't. Or it won't. Same strategy. Nothing too much to worry about. Tiamat will pull out some bigger attack spells, but nothing too bad. Maybe some Aga spells. The biggest issue with Tiamat is physical attack power. So throw up Protera. And if you want, throw up Blink as well on all your characters. And that will pretty much keep you from having to worry too much. We really don't have to worry about dying until we get to the final boss. And I will certainly be talking about that in my next episode. Here we go. A unique ability, Thunderbolt. But as you can see, not too powerful. Nakuso's actually a little low on HP. Don't you die on me, man! Alright, let's heal. We'll go back to double healing here. Ow. And we'll keep knocking you down with our awesome weaponry. That mace immune is pretty awesome looking. Sort of in the vein of Final Fantasy VII in Sephiroth's super long mace immune that only he could equip. Man, I always wanted to get that sword. They teased you with it by letting you use it on the flashback scene in Calm. Oh no, poison gas. But as you might expect, each of the Elemental Fiends has a little bit more HP than before, about double. And each one has a little bit more than the previous, so Lich had about 3,000 to 3,500. Marilyn had about 3,500 to 4,000. Kraken had about 4,000 to 4,500. And Tiamat has about 4,500 to 5,000. But to no avail. Down goes the final Elemental Fiend. Which means all we have left is the final boss. So it's come to this. After hours and hours of playing, we are finally ready to take on the final boss of the game. And I will do that in my next episode. As always, viewers, thanks for watching. I'll see y'all next time for part 1 of the finale. So long.